Hello, and here we are back. Take two. First time we fucked up because I was flapping my gums and Ilker was not coming through. But welcome back to Indie Game Social Club's bi-weekly catch-up, Smalltalk. I'm today's stream master and Scandinavian folklore troll, Brian. With me today, I have the lovely, the beautiful, the slightly more fit Ilker. Say hello, Ilker.
Hello.
Wonderful. Ilker, real quick, just so we're not
Sure.
repeating ourselves too much. How are you?
I am good. Very busy working these past 2 weeks, but I'm doing good.
Nice.
And
Me.
sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just going to talk about me. I love talking about me. I can do that the rest of the time. What about it? What?
Oh, no, I was just going to talk about my fitness trainer. So I was going to talk about me as well.
Yeah. Talk about, week one, they tore your body apart and pieced it back together slowly.
Basically, yeah. And second week, they did the same thing again. I couldn't brush my teeth for 4 days after training.
Same here, but I don't train. So I'm just disgusting.
I couldn't even reach my face because everything my arms were hurting. And last week I was like, you know how C-3PO walks and he has his arms.
Yeah.
That's exactly that was me last week.
Well, that's why you buy a gold suit so you don't look weird and you just people think you're cosplaying, right?
Yeah, but actually yesterday, making some progress because I'm not as sore today after training. So I'm actually having a new session tomorrow where we're gonna work on the legs.
Oh, nice. Gotta not skip leg day, right? You can't skip leg day. So next time, just point the camera downwards at your legs. Just show those things off. Right?
Sure.
Me, same old. I've been playing quite a few games, catching up with friends. My second dose of the Moderna vaccine is coming in tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. Work has been picking up. I've been creating work for myself. But yeah, let's just jump into it. Let's start with, we're a book club with no books, if this is your first time joining us. We started last year during the pandemic, or just before the pandemic, actually, as an excuse to finally play the Steam games we bought on sale years and years ago. Normally, we pick a monthly game and discuss it, just like a book club. But this month game will be Roki, or as Americans would pronounce it, Roki. And we're gonna be discussing it this Sunday. Ilker, do you want to give us some facts and tidbits about Roki?
Sure. Roki or Roki, do you pronounce it? Is a point-and-click adventure game. It's made by a British studio called Polygon Treehouse. It's out on Nintendo Switch and PC and Mac. And yeah, right before the podcast, we also discovered that it had been nominated by BAFTA for Game Award of the what do you call it? The best debut.
Wonderful.
Best debuting game. Yeah, that's cool.
High praise.
I don't think they won it. Yeah, I'm not sure they won it, but they've still been noticed by BAFTA. That's
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I don't know if it's still the case, but last week when a bunch of us purchased it, it is 50% off in the Switch store. Not sure if it's still going on now, but I don't know if I would recommend it on the Switch because you said that. Well, I mean, in my experience, the analog stick is pretty clunky with a point-and-click adventure. So if you can find it on sale on PC and want to check it out, try that because it might be a bit smoother experience for you. We'll just say.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Playing on Switch as well.
Yeah. With that said, let's move on to the small talk. This is the part of the show where I get a shit ton of text messages that are very distracting, and we talk about the games that we've been playing, big or small, indie or AAA or anything in between. Ilker, before I screwed up the stream, you were talking about Hyrule Warriors.
I was.
Yeah. Give us a
I was
little
talking about some spoilers of the ending, but as I mentioned, if you even started the game, if you played 2 minutes of the game, they introduced time travel. So again, I just jumped right into spoiler territory again. I finished Hyrule Warriors last week. That's all. It's done. I liked that game. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah. I think if if you're someone like you, Brian,
Yeah.
I would probably play that in small doses
Yeah.
and just like in small sessions. Don't try to play it all once because it gets tedious or just like
Yeah.
it gets really repetitive.
Yeah.
But it's a perfect game for playing in small doses.
Nice. Well, okay, so here's where I stand with spoilers. Generally speaking, I'm okay with spoilers, but because I'm such like Nintendo was my Disney. Like I was raised on Nintendo, and any like mainline Nintendo game, like say Mario or Zelda, it's like family to me. So like if like even though I don't intend on playing something soon, like I still hold it very near and dear to experience it like as complete and full as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I finally played Mario Sunshine for the first time last year. It took me a while, but I was like, I didn't know anything about it. I went in blind, hated it, but I still played it. But it was good to know what Mario was doing while I was in college, you know?
That game has got a lot of salt, I think.
Yeah.
I have really fond memories of playing that game on GameCube. I don't want to ruin them. I'm gonna leave that leave that as it is.
I think it had good ideas, but it was in an era where like 3D cameras still weren't sorted out right, and the analog controls weren't perfect, and just 3D platformers have come such a long way that it makes that just feel so clunky for a Nintendo game, you know? But with that said, I want to play Hyrule Warriors. I want to see what Link's been up to, but just, you know, probably not anytime soon.
Yeah, I would say that Link is the least interesting character there because like he doesn't even speak. He doesn't have any dialogue. He's like, I don't know. But that's also something cool about the game because the story is very centered around Zelda and her like finding out her powers and actually.
That I'm fascinated about, right? Because like it seems they made her look badass without her like showing a ton of cleavage or anything like that. And she's fleshed out. She gets to talk, and she's not just like a helpless damsel in distress, but like she's someone with depth that is like struggling with being this piece of royalty, but also feeling a responsibility to do something about something going on, right?
Exactly, yeah, and she kind of feels like helpless. Like she feels like a helpless princess because everyone has superpowers and are badass at their job at fighting, and like she's not at their level, and that's her struggle in the game basically,
right?
And she's trying to find her place in the group or in the world.
That's great. That's a very kind of like contemporary story. Like, you know, what meanwhile, like we've come a long way as a society, in my opinion, about like viewing women in a less objective and traditionally helpless light. That this is kind of addressing that in a healthy and not like heavy-handed way, right? Like sometimes they're so heavy-handed it has the opposite effect. Like, dude, you're trying too hard, you know. But this seems pretty respectful and does her story justice.
But then also it's made by a Japanese company with a lot of Japanese culture aspects in it, and you know, it can be maybe not as up to date.
Right. Well, it's like that's why I said it's like today, because we're not perfect yet, but we're getting there. We're starting to address issues, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Simon is in chat. What up, Simon?
Hello, Simon.
Her power is a love triangle between her, Link, and Mario. Yeah, that's her power.
All right. Thanks for the comment, Simon.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, that was a fun game. Actually, I actually enjoyed the last parts of that, and I felt badass. I actually just played Zelda. After I unlocked the powers, I just loved floating around and casting spells. She summons this huge light bow, she just shoots people up.
Sounds badass.
But other than that, I've been slowly chipping away on Yakuza, like a dragon.
Okay, so how many hours at this point are you into Yakuza, like a dragon?
I think 60 hours, maybe 40 hours, perhaps. I'm not sure. I think it might be at 40 or 50 hours.
I can't remember the last game I shoved that many hours into. That might have been Final Fantasy VII, to be honest. Like, although Destiny. Like I've been consistently playing Destiny, but that's kind of different than a one-shot game. Yeah, exactly. So
exactly, because for me, World of Warcraft is going to top that. Like I play that since it came out. So yeah, but Yakuza, yeah, that is a slow burner for sure. I thought I could play that on my lunchtime. I thought like, let's sit down and try to play, like get a session. Let's get some progress.
Yeah.
40 minutes later, I finished one sub story where I go on a date with a ghost, which is
Like if
I
you're
was like,
just
what?
joining us, that is fantastic. Just like went on a date with a ghost. What do you guys think?
I'm like, what did I accomplish during this lunch break?
Yeah.
There's like no character development.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like,
Sorry to cut you off, Simon. You need to resubscribe because it won't auto renew if you're using your Prime. You can resubscribe and it'll throw us the $2.50 that we earned. There you go. Then we have no ads. But yeah, thanks for watching us during your chores. I actually haven't thought about doing that. Just putting us on in the background, like it's like you guys are in my room, if that's the case. So has your opinion changed of Yakuza Like a Dragon 40 to 60 hours in?
No, it hasn't. I still love the characters.
Yeah.
I think I'm still involved in the story. I'm committed to finish it, and yeah, I have the same opinion as before. I'm hugely in love with the characters. Actually, I've been missing out.
This is your first foray into Yakuza series, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I really want to go back and play some of the recent ones as well.
Nice. Question for you: who would like this game?
Oh God. I guess if you like anime.
Yeah. It seems very anime quirky. It has a lot of those quirks of anime, like
quirky,
exaggerated.
definitely. Yeah. If you like Japanese culture, it's definitely for you as well. But yeah, I would say like the game is anime, like because you have all these very long, drawn out expositions, and dialogues, and that is like it's very tropey in anime and Japanese culture in a whole, and yeah, I guess, and if you like playing RPGs, long as JRPGs, then it's probably for you as well.
Okay, so from the looks of the trailer that I just threw up on the screen, I feel like if you liked Paper Mario, you would like Yakuza, because it's just like there's mini games. It looks like there's a lot of mini games. It's RPG at its heart. And it has some Japanese in jokes that are just kind of quirky enough that you don't need to be part of the Japanese culture to enjoy, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it is RPG at its heart, right?
But why Paper Mario
though? Mini games and like Japanese, a nod to Japanese culture, essentially. Not the most recent one, but like the Paper Mario series is kind of like light on the RPG, but more on like mini games and just the quirkiness of Japanese culture.
When I think about it, the mini games are usually a big part of RPG games. Like you always, there's a lot of mini games that comes out from RPGs. I'm trying to like remember. Like, if you just
I can remember a few prominent ones for sure.
Yeah,
like the snowboarding in Final Fantasy VII, or the racing in Chrono Trigger. But they're usually like a few in my experience. But I've only played the old JRPGs. I don't know how many mini games are in the newer ones, but this one seems to be just like there's Yakuza. From what you told me, has like straight up full on games, like Mario Kart.
It is. Exactly, and it's also published by Sega, and they've have lended them some games as well. Like you can straight up play arcade mode on Virtua Fighter. I think it's Virtua Fighter 5.
The full game?
Sit down and, you actually sit down and play the full game.
That's insane. That's so cool. Also, why buy Virtua Fighter 5 if you can just play it in Yakuza? 2 games in one.
Get two games in one. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
But yeah, I'm set to finish that. I don't know when that's going to be, but yeah, we'll get to it.
So that's Yakuza Like a Dragon. You're just kind of casually taking your time, not trying to speed towards the end like me, huh?
Yeah, like I tried going it with your mindset and like, okay, I'm gonna try
Get
to
through
beat
it.
this game and just get through the story. But then I was just like, I look at the map and I see all these bubbles for side
Oh
quests. Like,
yeah, it's like,
I'm gonna
squirrel.
I need to check this out, just see what it is, and
Yeah,
then I move on.
you're like, you play like a cat. You're so curious like
Exactly.
a
Yeah.
cat. And that's Yakuza Like a Dragon. Anything else that you've been playing of note?
No.
Not so much.
We're gonna talk about more about Raki on Sunday. But
Mhm.
yeah, other than that, it's not much. What about you, Sam, Brian?
I have been playing a little bit more. I've just been chipping away at golf with friends. Like not too much, but just like if I know I'm gonna jump on a Discord chat with some friends and I have 15-20 minutes to kill, I'll like pop it on and play a few more minutes, which is great, right? Because it started as a mobile game. It's still just as charming. Like I don't, again, one of those things where I don't want to speed through it, but I do like, I'm just taking my time because it's something to do. Like it's my smoke break, so to speak, right? Mini games that I have encountered that are new are I've encountered this. I'm in a musical stage where the way it started was. Do you ever have that kid's toy called Simon or Simon Says, where it's like 4 different colors and you have to push the buttons and repeat the pattern, right?
Yeah.
It has that, so I'm assuming it's just a bunch of musical mini games where I'm at, which is really fun. The game never ceases to be inventive and quirky and fun. It has not, I would say it's kind of like diminished in my eyes in terms of like, okay, like it's new and it's charming and it's constantly changing. Like I'm less impressed by it, but it's still fun, you know? I guess I'm just spoiled. I want to say I'm on like somewhere between 4 and 6, possibly even 7. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention, but I'm just kind of clicking away and it's fun, you know?
Okay.
Great. And that was What the Golf, which kind of led me to reignite my passion for golf. Like, and I started playing golf with friends, which is, have you ever played it?
I have not.
Okay, golf with friends is like miniature golf, like putt-putt. Golf with your friends, I believe. Your friends. Meets a little bit of Mario Kart. So there are obstacles. You can, but this started off as like a Steam early access game that was just like get your ball to the hole. Everyone goes at the same time. It's chaos. You can bump into each other and stuff like that. And then they almost at a certain point added too much game. Like there, you can change the physics. You can change the ball size. You can wear hats. You can change floaties. Like there's too much. I like the really simple base game, and you can play with up to I think like 16 people, and it's fun. Like you can just kind of chip away and have like crazy chaotic fun at its simplest level. And I think we should play it sometime. It's really fun.
For sure. I mean, it feels like you're having a golf game renaissance for yourself.
Yeah. Hence the golf-esque shirt. Yeah.
But you have like, isn't Mario Golf also releasing this year? I think.
Yeah, which is like a more intense golf game than golf with your friends, because that's actually going through holes and picking your driver and putter and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I've never played real golf in my life outside of like a driving range, but golf games are very satisfying, very fun for me.
Yeah, I have also never played golf. I've just stood at the like range and just
the range. Is golf popular in Sweden? I imagine probably not. Well, maybe you guys have a lot of green spaces out there, right?
I guess it's as popular as in the States.
Because there are golf ranges in every city that I've lived in.
There are golf ranges here as well, but I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm just gonna pull this out of my ass. Maybe 1 out of 10 people play golf.
Really? It's also seen as kind of like a yuppie sport. So, like, if you grew up a little bit slightly rich, then you can afford going golf and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, that's my golf renaissance, so to speak. What else have I been playing? I got my interest in the Resident Evil series has been reignited lately.
Oh, okay. What are you playing then?
I've been playing Resident Evil 5 because I recently bought Resident Evil 2 Remake on sale on Steam for like $12 or $14 or something like that. Fantastic game. I like breezed through it. I was just like, it's one of those games that I couldn't put down. I was like itching to play. I just forgot how satisfying it is. It's like a violent walking sim, you know? It's like, because there's like puzzles to solve that are very much like, you know, in the vein of like Inside or The Witness or Myst or something like that. And then interspersed with some action sequences that are like, probably in my opinion, the least interesting part, you know?
Yeah.
And
I used to love those games.
The Resident Evil series?
I think I played up to 4. I'm not sure if 5 is that.
It's starting to show its age because Resident Evil 5 is a very poor clone of Gears of War. So they took away at least what I've been playing, they took away all the puzzle elements, and it's just like a really bad third-person shooter.
That was like post-apocalyptic, or was it in like an African country?
Yeah.
I'm not sure where.
Yeah, some like not real African country, I believe, and some crazy shit going on. But you know, I'm working through the story. It's fun. It's still fun. It is the bare minimum of what I would consider a Resident Evil game. You know, like limited inventory, zombies, the sound effects are all there. Simon, what do you mean because of upcoming game? The golf craze or the Resident Evil craze? Point and click, I would say, is probably the tie there with Roki and What the Golf.
Probably.
But
Brian, would you say that have you played the remasters that they did for Resident Evil 3 and 2?
Only 2. That's what got me into this, and I had no desire to play 3 because I was like, it's probably more of the same, and I've already played it the original version, so I know the story there. Resident Evil, I played the shit out of. Resident Evil 4, I played the shit out of. It was incredible. And then so now I'm working through 5, 6, 7, and up until 8 coming. Oh, Resident Evil Big Mama. Yeah, that's right. Resident Evil with Snoo Snoo. A fetish none of us knew we had.
Are you excited about the village? I think it's called.
I am. I like that. Like it's initially, they constantly try to reinvent themselves. Risky, but I think that's great. They're not trying to spit out the same shit over and over again like Call of Duty, right? Like, so I commend them for taking risks and for them to lean into like, hey, now we're gonna have vampires and werewolves and whatever weird shit we're gonna throw at you. It's gonna be great. You know?
I mean, they've done the zombie thing for a while, so I guess it's time to do something else. I think.
For sure.
But yeah, I think that's gonna be a cool game. I wanted to play the remasters as well of 2 and 3. I downloaded the demo for the third one for Resident Evil 3. On my PlayStation 4 Slim, and it felt like it was going to like take off. Exactly. I just turned it off, and I think should I play it on my PC? But then again, like I sit on this spot and work all day. The last thing I want to do is just sit here and play games as well. Like I just want to lay down on my couch or.
That's why you said you've been playing a lot more Switch lately, right? Or console gaming in general.
Exactly.
I would say if you can, when stuff dies down and you feel like playing PC games again, get RE2 on sale. It's a spectacular game, and I think you would really enjoy it with your play style.
I played the first one. I love the first one and the third one as well. But they changed a lot of it.
Resident Evil 2, they changed a lot of the scary beats, so it continues to surprise you. With your playstyle, it rewards exploration, and it's just a great experience all around. And like when you're done with it, you have an entire character to play from the beginning once again, and it plays slightly different. I had no desire to. I just like looked on YouTube what the second ending was, and it wasn't much different. But I mean, if you're a Resident Evil nut, there's 2 games in one. You start
with Claire, I think, and then you go to Leon.
The main campaign is like anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, and then you play that twice, and it's doubled. So I think for me, sweet spot is less than 10 hours. I think I can invest it in one big run, but yeah, that's Resident Evil 5 that I've been playing. Another game that I started playing was It Takes Two, which is the cooperative only game. I wish I could remember the publishers of it, but it's like semi-indie game. Beautiful graphics. Like, it is incredible at how this game looks. It has the charm of a Pixar movie, but not the writing of it. I think the writing is, to put it lightly, dog shit. Like, the writing is so bad. It is so forced and like, hey, this is a joke, laugh at this, because we know that on paper it sounds funny, Exactly. And they're addressing divorce and stuff. Like, I think the overall message is wholesome and nice, but the execution on the writing is not great. But the game just oozes charm. It is so, like, the gameplay mechanics are so fun, and every level feels like a different game. There is a boss that is like feels like a bullet hell near automata game. There's another boss that the first boss is, or another boss that is just like a shooter. Another boss is a Street Fighter game, which is like crazy, right? Like, because there's like a 2D street fighting while like your partner is steering the plane that you guys are fighting on. It's really fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who are you playing that with?
I'm playing with my friend Adrian online, and what's great about the game is only one person needs to own it, and the other person needs to just download the client, and you guys can play the full game together, which is great.
Okay, cool. I think that's the same thing they did with A Way Out, didn't they?
Yes.
You only need one game.
Which is really risky, right? And it's almost to their detriment in sales, but like, I think it's great, and I think more people need to play it, because it's just, when it boils down to it, like, the thing about games is like, it could have a shit story, but if it's fun, it's fun. Fun is fun, right?
Yeah. Also, I think it's a way to just stick out from the crowd as well. Like, that's the game where you only need one copy of it. Like, I think it's a good way to differentiate yourself.
So Simon, it's made by Hazelight Studios, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Hazelight Studios. Oh yeah, Hazelight, and A Way Out, and maybe a Brothers, that indie game Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, or something like that. So they got the cooperative mechanics down. I think it's cool. It feels like, if you've ever seen Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, like, you get little tools that, like, someone has like the head of a hammer that she uses to like swing on things, and you have nails that you throw on walls so that she can swing on, and you can call it back with a whistle. It's just charming as shit. That's really cool.
When you mentioned Rescue Rangers, that game, that made me and my brother enemies during our childhood. Did you play that? Do you remember you could pick?
It was simultaneous co-op, right?
Yeah, and you can pick each other up and throw each other like into pits and kill.
I never had anyone to play with as a kid, so I only played that single player. Yeah, but I always wanted to. I thought that would be cool, but now I could see if you have a shitty brother that you guys can throw each other into pits.
Yeah, you could like throw apples at each other, and that would actually stun the other character, and you could do that when they were up in the air.
Yeah,
someone trying to like jump over something.
Like, thematically, it makes sense, but why would you do that for a kid's game, right? Kind of ridiculous. So yeah, that's It Takes Two. Highly recommended if you can play it, if you can find it. It's, it's not cheap and it's not super expensive. It's pay what you will, but I think it's worth it if you really like a solid co-op experience. It's my favorite co-op game in recent memory. It's fantastic. Just don't be in it for the story, because the story fucking sucks. And I'll be honest, that's my personal opinion.
Which is weird, because like the guy that owns the Hazelight, he's a known Swedish director and a screenplay writer.
No
so
shit. Yeah,
it's weird that it doesn't really translate to his games.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think because relationships, and specifically divorce, are so nuanced, and like no one has it right. No one,
Yeah.
everyone thinks they're a fucking expert when it comes to marriage and relationships and divorce and stuff like that. So everyone has their take, and it's really hard to like please everyone, right? And it's really hard to like navigate a positive experience without it seeming so forced. And you know, I think there's a right way to do it. I just don't feel like this was the way to do it. You know. I couldn't do it better, to be honest. Shit. Like, but I just, story wise, I didn't have a great experience. I'm hoping it gets better. Because it has a positive message about, you know, like these people that are gonna get a divorce are really excited about getting a divorce, are forced to work together. And then the general message that I see so far is like, you guys don't have to get along, but you guys can get together with a common goal, that if that common goal happens to be a child, in real life, that kind of translates, right? But yeah, that's It Takes Two. What else? Let's go down the list here. I think for me, that's it for the games that I've been playing recently. Aside from that, I've been chipping away at Rookie, our monthly game. Or actually, Ilker, do you want to type in chat how to spell Rookie? The right way, because it's not R-O-K-I. What would you call that O with the dots over it?
That's an Ö. It's called Ö.
Okay.
I'm not logged in, so it doesn't allow me to actually type it.
Simon, can you type in Röki, the O? Anyways, I can't. I don't have that key on my keyboard, so I can only do Roki.
Yeah, it's an O with two dots. Or if you're Danish, it's an O with a line through it, a diagonal line.
Oh, is Danish? Are the Danes considered Scandinavian?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah. So just
because, like,
go ahead.
Because I think they are considered Scandinavian, but when you're talking about the Nordics, there's I get those confused. But like, there's a difference between Scandinavian and Nordics. When you talk about the
man, I'm racist. I had no idea. I always thought it was the same thing.
I think one of them is not Finland or not Iceland, and one of them contains Iceland as well.
No way. Okay, all right.
Then you have, which is
Simon did it right. Riaoki, as Simon said in the chat. Well, just as a refresher, anyone just joining us, our monthly game that we're going to be discussing this Sunday as our indie game book club is Rookie. Ilker, would you like to give us a down and dirty about Rookie?
Sure, that's a good pronunciation. So it's a point-and-click adventure game. It's made by Polygon Treehouse. It's a British studio. It's out on Nintendo Switch, maybe on a sale still. And it's also out on PC and Mac. And yeah, I think we mentioned this in the beginning of the podcast as well. Like we just discovered that it was nominated for BAFTA's Game Awards.
It's huge. Big praise. Yeah. Usually what makes it over there are like, you know, really rich games like Annapurna games, which are backed by big like movie stars and stuff like that. So for this small studio
I would actually want to, I'm going to look that up and see what other games that was in the same
what
category.
actually won, right? So the story, generally speaking, do you want to give a lowdown of the story? Just like the premise, I guess?
I mean, sure. I mean, it's about this little girl called Tove who loses her brother, and she's trying to find him. I would say that's the synopsis.
Well, this is very helpful, actually, because what I like about the game in that regard is that they're unapologetically Nordic, Scandinavian, one of those. I don't know. I want to say Scandinavian.
Norway includes both of them, so it's included in both Nordic and Scandinavia, so it's okay to say.
Okay, all right. I'm going to say Scandinavian, unapologetically Scandinavian, in that they spell and pronounce it very Scandinavian, and you know, they say tack for thank you, and they don't translate it for the American audience and stuff like that. And I would have read it as Tove, but you pronounce it as Tove, right?
Yeah. And I think they pronounce it in like Norwegian as well, which is more like Tove.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a game that I've been working through this week, and it's one of those games that surprised me because it was a game that I submitted for our monthly poll, which was like what our theme was folklore, and this is based on Scandinavian folklore.
For sure, yeah.
And I thought it was an action platformer, puzzle platformer, like Inside, but it is not. Like you said, it is a point and click adventure.
Yeah, I did not expect it to be an point and click adventure, and I haven't played any of those games for a very long time, I think. Oh, well, I mean, we played Detention, which is a point and click game as well.
Right, right.
But how so far? How do you like it? Like, if you're just gonna
I
scratch
have
it out.
many opinions about the game,
Yeah.
both good and not good. But
okay.
With that said, if this is any indicator, I am probably towards the end, and I think it's about a 10-hour game. And I soared through that game in like 3 days, 2-3 days. Like the first night I played like 2 hours, and I played almost all day on and off yesterday. But yeah, it is, we'll say at the very least, without spoiling anything, engaging.
Yeah.
It's very engaging.
Yeah, I think I'm at the same level as you. I have a lot of things to say about the game, I think, and at least I think I'm going to have a lot of things to say. Mostly good, but also a few bad stuff, or not so good. But yeah, for anyone in the club, it's a 10-hour game. So if you want to join us on Sunday, it's it's time to start
cough,
playing.
Simon. Yeah. Here's the thing about Roki is that whether or not you play, I'm hoping at least 1 or 2 more of our Scandinavian club members join in the chat, even if they haven't played, because I would like the opinion, some backstory on some of the Scandinavian folklore, because I don't know, and you don't have to answer it now, Ilker, but I don't know how much of it is shit that you guys grew up with and shit that they like made up. And it'd be really interesting to unpack that with you guys, because I had never heard of any of these. And some of them seem familiar, and I'm wondering if they got translated through the folklore tales into American folklore too, which is really interesting.
We'll discuss it on Sunday. I think there might be a little bit of difference between Norwegian folklore and Swedish folklore, but it's still like they have the same word for the stuff. But I don't know. Like also like the game might have also taken a like creative freedom.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm wondering.
Tweaking some of the stuff as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far I actually like that game. But how much have you looked up? Like, have you used any walkthroughs, or have you actually?
That is part of my review. That is not spoiling it, but that is part of my review. All right. So yeah, I'm not going to ask you either. I don't want to spoil anything, so we can slowly start to wrap things up. But I will say that it has woken up an interest in point and click for me. So after that, I want to check out, like, I think they did like a Sam and Max remaster. I might want to check that. I heard those were really fun, right?
I wanted to ask you about like what other point and clicks games can we talk about instead of talking about Rocky?
Right.
And yeah, Sam and Max is one of the games that I remember from my childhood.
Yeah, and then what's that pirate one? The guy brush comb guy.
That's the Monkey Island.
Curse of Monkey Island had a remaster a few years back. A few years meaning like over 10 years probably at this point. But it's not, it's like a redone artwork and stuff I might want to do. And I think I have it on Xbox, like digital game or whatever I can just download.
There's a game that I think you would enjoy if you haven't played it. Maybe we could actually do stream it. There is no game, I think it's called.
Right.
Which is a point and click. I mean, it's not an adventure game, but it's a point and click game.
Yeah. You know what I just remembered? Devotion. Is that point and click? The spiritual successor to Detention?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe because that looks 3D from the screenshots I've looked at it. So I'm not sure if that counts as a point and click.
Or it could be, like kind of Witness-esque in that it's a walking sim with puzzle elements,
Exactly. Is the Witness a point and click game? Or...
Guy Brush Threepwood. Yes, that was his name. Best games. I didn't even know there were 3 Monkey Island games. That's insane.
Oh.
Thank you, Simon. Yeah, let's check that out and let's throw a stream up. I think I'm pretty clear next week. If you want to put something in the calendar, I'd be really excited to play this illegal game. It's, to like China's.
Ocean.
Yes.
Yeah, sure, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's. I want to get started with
Dude,
that.
I mean, the both of us had such an emotional experience playing Detention. Like, it was touching, and also the fact that it was kind of cool that basically what I'm hoping to get out of this Roki discussion, where I was able to bring you cultural elements from Chinese folklore and Chinese rituals and traditions and stuff to make your experience more rounded out. That you understand some of that.
Don't get your hopes up, but well,
yeah. I mean, I guess if you can, like, I want to cross-reference all the stuff in Roki with what you grew up with,
Yeah. I mean, I recognize most of the things from stuff I've heard growing up, and from Swedish fairy tales that I've heard, and songs as well. But we'll talk about it on Sunday.
Cool.
Brian, what are you looking forward to playing?
Ooh, great question. Almost as if we have a structure to this podcast. Looking forward to playing, not much, because I've been kind of checking off the stuff that we've been playing, and I'm just kind of like, I need to start wrapping these up to move on. While also observing the fact that, time is precious and you don't have to feel like you have to finish every damn game.
Yeah.
But with that said, I have a lot of games that I want to finish. But the game that I'm looking forward to playing is recently out on Game Pass, and it is called Pathway. It is a pixel art tactical strategy game that is basically Indiana Jones. It is Indiana Jones without being called Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It has all the story beats and stuff. I'm really excited to play that. I'm awful at tactical games. Think XCOM meets Final Fantasy Tactics. It looks a little bit like that with pixel art. And I'm probably going to do just plain, throw a solid hour into it, see what I think. Simon Neverhood, is that one of the Guybrush games, or is that its own thing? Anywho, that's, Pathway. That's what I'm interested in playing. What about you, Ilko?
I actually have a few games on my radar. I'm going to try to finish Yakuza, but other than that, Nier Replicant is releasing tomorrow.
Remake, right?
It's a remake, and it is a remake of the game before Nier Automata,
right?
Basically, and I'm looking forward to play that game, but I'm also not looking forward to have my spirit crushed again, because the
existentialism, right? I think there's like existential philosophy.
Exactly. Like it has some really deep philosophical. Yeah, thank you. Messages in that game, and I really enjoyed the Nier Automata game, and I haven't played any of the other games, the Drakengard or anything like that before. So
I can't keep track. There's so many games in that series that don't share the same title, so it's hard to keep up with.
Exactly, but you only need to play Nier Automata if you want to play Nier Automata.
Right.
If you want to get the references, like there's a bunch of YouTube videos that just explains all the shit that happened in the other previous games that led to Nier Automata.
Nice.
But and also last week, Saga Frontier released the remaster of that game as well, and I'm actually really intrigued by that game. I wanna play some old school JRPG.
Did they essentially rebuild that game from the ground up?
I think they did. Because the graphics, it looks really different from what I've seen from that game, like from what was it, PlayStation 1?
Yeah.
But yeah,
they must have. I think it's like widescreen now. They must have just redid the art at the very least, right?
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they added some not DLC, but extra shit somehow.
Yeah. Well, other than that, also Rose the fighting character in Street Fighter 5 just released.
Wait, and Rose, like she has her own game, or is that in a game?
No. So I'll rewind. Street Fighter 5 had a new character release.
Gotcha.
Which is Rose. And
is she the lady that was in Street Fighter 3 with the red dress and the black stockings and the heels?
the heels and the scarf that she uses
Yes.
to
Yeah. That was
shoot
Street Fighter
magic.
3, right?
I think that's Street Fighter Alpha, yeah.
Oh,
Street Fighter
Alpha.
3, yeah.
There you go. Because I remember seeing her in pixel form. So it must have been like that era.
Yeah, it's
early
from
on.
Street Fighter 2 Alpha series, I think.
Cool.
But yeah, she just released and she looks pretty fun. So I'm thinking about getting back into Street Fighter.
Nice.
But yeah,
Did they mature her like they did with Ryu?
I'm not sure actually. Maybe a little bit. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I love that they realistically aged Ryu through the years. It's kind of neat. Like he looks like he's in his 20s in Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 3, they gave him like more chiseled features. Street Fighter 4, he's just like a beefy middle-aged dude, and now he just looks like seasoned and older and stuff like that, which is cool.
I would love it if they, like in Street Fighter 6, just aged all of them or just retired all the old crew and just like super old. And here's the new generation of fighters.
Yeah. Or even like keep the older people in, but because they're older, their play style changes, right? And so like Ryu has to have more power moves and he's a little bit slower, but his son or daughter is like plays just the same as old Ryu, right? I think that would be really neat.
Yeah, but then again, Ryu is always going to be a Shoto character, so
right.
But yeah, that would be cool. I think that what they did for Street Fighter Third Strike is something like that. They introduced a bunch of new characters in that game.
Yeah,
I want to remember.
Sweet.
But anywho, that's the games that I'm looking forward to play, but I'm probably not going to get around to play any of them for the coming 2 weeks.
Soon Ryu will be fat and have a baseball cap. You mean Ryu will turn into me? Cool. Well, yeah, that does it for me then. Should we tell people what to look out for in the next coming days?
Sure. You want me to tell them? I'm not sure if we're actually going to do any streams on Saturday. We'll talk about it. I think Simon is out. So
normally we would do The Witness. But
we normally do The Witness, but maybe we'll find some time to do something else on Saturday. And then we have the Röki monthly discussion coming up on Sunday. We'll see how many people will be, if it's just going to be you and I, or if we actually are joined by some others as well. Surprise members.
Yeah.
I think that's what's coming up. Have I forgotten anything?
George Foreman grill for Ryu's special attack. Just slinging burgers. That'd be my dream right there. I guess that's it. Stay tuned. I know we've been kind of slow in the streams lately, but you know, life's hitting us in the balls and we're just kind of trying to catch up. But at the very least, every 2 weeks we have Smalltalk, and once a month we have Indie Game monthly discussion. Hope you guys join us for that. But until then, say goodbye, Ilker.
Goodbye. Hej då.
Hej då.